Hi guys, welcome to another beer review, and today we're venturing back over to Mikkeller San Diego, and this is a beer they brewed in collaboration with Great Notion Brewing, and this is a can of the Shake Your Stack, which is a imperial stout brewed with maple, coffee and cinnamon, clocking in at 9.7% ABV. Fantastic artwork as per usual from Keith Shaw. Got this beer from the Mikkeller Beer Club box for June, which was a little bit stout heavy, but I'm not going to complain about that. And 3 of the beers included cinnamon. So yeah, an imperial stout from Mikkeller San Diego. I absolutely love Mikkeller San Diego. Probably my favourite brewery from within the sort of Mikkeller family, I suppose you'd call it. Not that there's anything else with the other, like New York or the regular Mikkeller. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of my favourite breweries in general. But Mikkeller San Diego is probably my favourite out of the lot. Anyway, so let's get this opened and see what we get. And nice little eruption there. You really did not need to see me do that. Cinnamon. Anyway, let's get this beer poured and see what we get. Yeah, quite a generous pour. Always appreciated. So, I don't want to drink too much because I've got plans for this beer, which you will see this evening, if I remember to upload it correctly. In fact, now let's give ourselves a little bit more, because I don't need that much for the additional video. Which I'll... Don't know what fell off then. Don't care. It's on the floor. It'll probably stay there for a while. Anyway, beer in the glass then. And that is pretty much black as night. The head is so dark it's almost grey towards the actual top of where the beer ends and the head starts. But yeah, lovely, deep, dark. I don't know, it's almost as dark as the beer. There's not much, obviously, aside from it being a brown. Over exaggeration there, but yeah, that is a really dark and intense imperial stout. It looks a lot brighter on camera than it does in person. I was having a debate with, well, not really a debate. It was more like, how weird is it when we refer to inanimate objects as in person or like in the flesh? Do you know what I mean? It's a bit weird, isn't it? But what else could you say? Anyway, beer in the glass then looks fantastic. Already said that. Let's give it a sniff. Definitely getting the cinnamon in there. Loads of dark, intense malt coming through. There's almost a little bit of char in there. And I imagine that's the malts mixing with the coffee and then the sort of spiciness of the cinnamon. It's got a really like sort of dense sweetness, but it's not like a bright sweetness. It's not like a, chocolate fudge cake sort of aroma. It's more of like a Maryland dark chocolate cookie. Or, yeah, cookie. Fresh in my mind because I bought a pack the other day. But yeah, it's like a bitter chocolate, really. But yeah, that cinnamon is definitely in there. It's got like, it's not as sweet as like a cinnamon swirl, but at the same time, it's not as like intense as like ground up cinnamon. It smells good though. I'm loving the savoury char element. I really, really am. Anyway, lip smackingly good on the nose. So let's smack our lips and give it a taste. Cheers. Oh, wow. Okay, that is very, very cinnamon. That'd be a great t-shirt now. Yeah, that is a very savoury tasting imperial stout, if I'm being honest. There's maple syrup in there as well. which you're not really getting too much. I sometimes find when maple syrup's being put into a beer, it can be a little bit overpowering and not really sweet, but really sickly, if that makes sense. But this, yeah, this is not what I was expecting it to be. And I'm actually really glad, because I thought this would be a really overly sweet and rich Imperial Stout. It is a rich Imperial Stout. It's very robust. And that cinnamon, it's a quite clawing on the back end, especially on your palate. I never did the cinnamon challenge back in the day. Back in the day, it was a few years ago. But I can imagine when I've put a bit too much cinnamon in something, you get that sort of like sensation on your tongue. That's what I'm getting with this. At 9.7%, it feels a bit bigger than that. Not in terms of booziness, but because of those flavours. It's so intense, but rounded at the same time. It's not abrasive, but it definitely lets you know that this is a big beer. But it's only 9% ABV. When did we get to the point where it's like, oh, it's only 9% ABV? When did we get to that point when 9% got the response of, it's only 9%? Do you know what I mean? What a place we are in with beer. Can't formulate sentences properly. One thing you'll notice with this straight away, and that's the reason why I made a bit of a noise when I first put it in my mouth. All the innuendos, Peter, all the innuendos. Is that silky, smooth body. What I've found, especially with the Imperial Stouts that I've had from Mikkeller San Diego, is they have got the mouthfeel bang on. It's literally like you've got melted chocolate and mixed it with like chocolate milk. It's so silky, smooth and bold. You feel like your mouth's coated and it's going down your throat. Got to get my head out of that space. See, even when I'm trying to get myself out of doing innuendos, it turns into being an innuendo. Unless you've got a rational mind and not a filthy one like me. I do want to become like the e-fucked of beer reviews on YouTube. That's going to be my goal, to become the beer tube equivalent of e-fucked, minus the penetration and humiliation. Yeah, that's an intense Imperial Stout. It really, really is. It's got those like classic Imperial Stout smoky char flavours. But then those adjuncts haven't been overdone. Aside from the cinnamon. I think, although it's not really affecting the beer too negatively for me personally, that cinnamon is a bit strong. It's very evident. It really, really is. See, I'd have thought the cinnamon might tie all the flavours in together, but it becomes a flavour on its own. And the back end of this beer, I can't even describe I can't even describe what flavour that is, but I've never really had that with an Imperial Stout. It's leaving a lasting impression, and it lingers. And there's a big bitterness there. That's a really intense coffee blend as well that they've used. Because you are getting those like very subtle like blackberry, blackcurrant sort of espresso notes in there, but it's really charred. It's a really charred coffee character, and I like that because I like a good strong coffee. And you can always tell when a brewer's used high quality coffee beans or ground coffee or coffee blends, or they've worked in collaboration with a really high quality barista. Is that the word? Barista's just the person who makes coffee, isn't it? I'm trying to make out that I know more than I actually do, and I really, really don't. But yeah, you could just tell if you like good coffee. You can tell when a brewery has used good coffee, and I've utilised this perfectly. Yeah, very intense, very, very intense. I've not really had too many imperial stouts with ingredients like that added come out like that, but in a really good way. Is it the most satisfying and amazing imperial stout that I've had? No, there are still parts that I'm not completely sold on. But if I was to have that again, then I'd be over the moon. It's one of those. I'm not one of these people who thinks every imperial stout should be barrel aged in bourbon, cognac, whatever. But I really think the addition of that vanilla and that oak and that whiskey flavour could turn this into a really outstanding and intriguing beer and build upon that foundation. But yeah, it's a lovely beer, it really, really is. So in terms of a rating then, for Shake Your Stack, the concept that it's like maple syrup on pancakes, or is that waffles, or is that just a cake? I don't know. It's not really desserty, that's what I'm going to say. It's not a really desserty stout, like the artwork would lead you to believe. But what you do find in there is a really beautifully brewed beer that has probably pushed the boundaries just a little bit too much, without it being like an outrageous sort of beer. Outrageous. Like, my hand gestures are really starting to fuck me off recently. I've noticed I'm doing them every fucking day in every aspect of my life, and it's annoying me. Anyway, so in terms of a rating then on Shake Your Stack, well, it doesn't say that, don't know why I said that. This from Mikkeller San Diego and Great Notion Brewing, I'm going to give that one an 8.5 out of 10. Lovely stuff. If you want something a little bit different and you can get your hands on it, definitely give it a go, because I can imagine not too many people have tasted an imperial stout like this one. So yeah, go check out Mikkeller San Diego. Go check out Great Notion Brewing. Of course, referral link is going to be in the description as well. I've got quite a big playlist of Mikkeller related beers for you to sink your teeth into. And speaking of sinking my teeth into, totally did not script that. Going to be released in another video. Going to be recording it a little bit after this one. Because today is National Donut Day, and if you've been following the food related things on the channel, you'll know that donuts have shown quite a few times, so it would be rude not to do a video, even though it's not going to be released on National Donut Day. Doesn't matter, I'm still marking the occasion. I've been craving donuts all day. It's like 7:20 in the evening. My Instagram story has just been flooded with donut related content. So walked up to my local co-op, bought some donuts, and I'm going to be pairing this beer, which I'm really intrigued to see how it's going to turn out, with some donuts. So yeah, stick around to watch that. If you've not watched it already, up to you. Don't really understand why people watch me in the first place, but hey, thanks for watching. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the beer. If you've tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. If you tried anything from any of the breweries involved in this one, then just hit me up in the comments. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all later. Cheers.